HFY, the Black Ship, no escape from Wyatt. In the vast reaches of space, where ancient alien civilizations once ruled and the stars seemed endless, there was a story that few had the courage to believe. It was a tale of a ship so black, so ominously powerful, that it struck fear into the hearts of every species across the galaxy. But the true terror was not the ship itself, but the man who commanded it, Wyatt. Wyatt was human. That was enough to send chills down the spines of the most fearsome alien leaders. To most of them, humanity was nothing more than a primitive, fragile species lost among the stars. But they were wrong. When Wyatt first arrived at the heart of the galaxy, he was an anomaly. Humans had always been underestimated, their technology crude in comparison to the advanced races they encountered. Yet Wyatt had a fire within him, a drive unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. He had risen through the ranks of humanity's fledgling space forces and, against all odds, had taken command of a ship that was unlike any other, the Black Ship. The Black Ship was a vessel forged in the heart of a dying star, a craft built from materials unknown, infused with an energy that no other species could replicate. It was capable of slipping through the very fabric of space, making it nearly impossible to track or fight. Its weapons were devastating, incendiary blasts that could obliterate entire planets and disrupt the fabric of space-time itself. But the true power of the ship wasn't its advanced technology or its devastating firepower, it was Wyatt. He was a man who had seen the horrors of the universe, a man who had fought for his people's survival against odds that no one could comprehend. He had learned from every battle, every conflict, and used that knowledge to craft a strategy that left no room for failure. He was relentless, cunning, and unstoppable. For all his humanity's supposed fragility, Wyatt embodied the essence of what it meant to survive, and not just survive, but to thrive. The galaxy's most powerful empires had underestimated Wyatt's resolve. When the Zlithians, an empire of warlords and ruthless conquerors, first encountered the Black Ship, they thought they could crush him as they had done to countless others. They sent their largest fleets to hunt him down, their mighty dreadnoughts and vast armadas swarming the space around Wyatt's ship. But when they fired their first salvo, they found the Black Ship was already gone, and before they could react, they found themselves facing the unimaginable. One by one, their fleets vanished into the abyss, swallowed whole by the Black Ship's guns. Wyatt's reputation grew. His name became synonymous with terror, whispered in hushed tones among every species, from the highly evolved Xeranthians to the monstrous Thraxi. No escape from Wyatt, they said. The Zlithians, humiliated and broken, sent an emissary to Wyatt, a proud warrior who demanded an audience with the man who had made their empire quiver. "Why do you do this?" the Zlithian demanded, his voice tinged with both fear and anger. "We could offer you riches, power. What more do you want from us?" Wyatt's answer was simple, and it sent a wave of dread through the emissary's bones. "Nothing. I don't want anything from you. I'm not here for power or wealth. I'm here because you deserve to be destroyed. You've enslaved, murdered, and conquered for far too long, and I'm here to make sure you never hurt anyone again." The Black Ship fired once. The Zlithian fleet was gone in an instant. Wyatt didn't just destroy empires. He dismantled the idea that any force in the galaxy could stand in humanity's way. The warlords and conquerors of the galaxy began to recognize something they had never expected, that humanity was capable of such might, such fury. They saw what Wyatt represented, a single human with enough power to tear the galaxy apart. The most disturbing part was the way Wyatt did it. He didn't fight for glory, wealth, or dominion. He fought because he had no choice but to protect humanity. Every time they tried to run, to hide, to surrender, Wyatt made sure they learned the truth. There was no escaping the Black Ship. The ultimate irony? Despite his fearsome reputation, Wyatt never ruled. He never sought to control the galaxy. He wasn't a conqueror. He was simply a protector, a man fighting for his species' survival. And though his enemies might have feared the Black Ship's power, they feared Wyatt even more. The Black Ship never stopped. It moved like a shadow through the stars, hunting down every last remnant of tyranny and oppression. There was no escape from Wyatt. And the galaxy learned, as they watched from the edges of their star systems, never underestimate humanity. HFY, the Black Ship, no escape from Wyatt, Part 2. As Wyatt's legend spread across the stars, the galaxy trembled at the thought of what he could do. He had already erased entire fleets, shattered empires, and taken down the most feared warlords in the galaxy. But what few knew was that the black ship's purpose had shifted. It was no longer just a weapon of destruction. It had become something else entirely, a symbol of humanity's resolve, a harbinger of justice for those who had been oppressed. The alien species, who once mocked humanity's weakness, now found themselves under the scrutiny of the black ship. Each one held accountable for their crimes, each one facing Wyatt's unwavering pursuit. But not all had learned from the past. Some continued to think they could strike a deal, bribe their way out of his reach, or trick him into sparing them. None succeeded. The Syrixians, an insectoid species with an empire spanning several star systems, were the next to feel the weight of Wyatt's wrath. They had long exploited their vast slave labor force, dragging entire species into servitude to fuel their war machines. When Wyatt learned of their cruel practices, there was no hesitation. The black ship entered their space with a deadly calm. The Syrixians had the numbers, thousands of ships patrolled their borders. Their weapons advanced and terrifying. They underestimated Wyatt's tactics. The first wave of ships was obliterated before they could even launch a counterattack. The black ship's advanced stealth capabilities allowed it to slip past their defenses undetected, moving like a shadow. Within moments, entire Syrixian fleets were reduced to debris. The survivors scattered and broken. The Syrixians, in their arrogance, never realized that Wyatt had already outsmarted them before they even fired a single shot. A Syrixian commander, known for her ruthlessness, had heard the stories. She knew the black ship was coming, but she thought, perhaps, that with her cunning and superior numbers, she could outmaneuver him. When she arrived at the capital fleet's command center, she found it in chaos. Wyatt's assault was already underway. "You're too late," she said, standing before the holographic display of her empire's crumbling defenses. "You can't win. My people will fight to the last." Wyatt's voice crackled through the comms. "This isn't about fighting. This is about justice. You'll answer for every life you've enslaved, every world you've ruined." The Syrixian commander gritted her mandibles. "You think you're the only one who can bring destruction? You're nothing but a coward hiding behind a ship." Wyatt's response was a calm, cold laughter. "I'm not hiding behind anything. I'm the one you should fear." The black ship appeared in real time, slicing through space like an unstoppable force. Wyatt gave no chance for the Syrixians to regroup. No room for escape. The ships that remained standing were picked off one by one, as if they were toys in the hands of a child. The Syrixians, once proud and mighty, were reduced to ashes before they even had a chance to launch their final retaliatory strike. When the dust settled, the Syrixian Empire was no more. The slaves they had oppressed were freed, their captors scattered to the void. But Wyatt's work wasn't done. For every empire he destroyed, for every battle won, there were whispers of new threats, new enemies gathering in the shadows. The most powerful of these was the Vorvith Dominion, an ancient race that had survived for millennia by conquering and enslaving the lesser species of the galaxy. Their power was immense, their fleets vast, their technology light years ahead of even the most advanced empires Wyatt had already faced. The Vorvith saw the destruction of the Syrixians and knew that their own time was coming. They had studied Wyatt, analyzed the black ship, and tried every trick and subterfuge they could imagine. But in their arrogance, they believed they could defeat him. They had underestimated humanity once, and now they were about to make the same mistake. The Vorvith assembled the largest fleet ever seen, preparing to hunt Wyatt down before he could reach their borders. Their ships were massive, equipped with weaponry capable of annihilating entire planets. Their strategy was simple: trap the black ship, overwhelm it with numbers, and destroy it once and for all. But they had overlooked one critical detail. Wyatt had anticipated them. The black ship appeared in the Vorvith system, but this time, Wyatt wasn't just fighting for survival. This time, he was setting a trap of his own. He allowed the Vorvith to think they were winning. He let them get close, let them think they had finally caught him. He knew the Vorvith were too arrogant to resist. And then, he struck. The black ship's cloaking device activated, rendering it invisible to the entire fleet. As the Vorvith fleet circled in search of their prey, Wyatt unleashed his full arsenal. Massive, energy-draining pulses erupted from the ship's guns, disabling the Vorvith's most powerful vessels in a matter of seconds. The black ship's stealth systems allowed it to move in and out of the fight, devastating the Vorvith ships from within their own ranks. The Vorvith fleet broke apart. Their forces scattered. The destruction was total. Their empire left reeling from the loss of their finest ships and warriors. By the time the Vorvith realized their mistake, it was too late. There was no escape from Wyatt. The black ship moved like a ghost, delivering justice to those who thought themselves untouchable. The galaxy, once full of smug conquerors and empires that believed they would reign forever, now understood the truth. No one, no matter how powerful, could escape Wyatt. He was humanity's blade, its shield, and its relentless will to survive. And as long as the black ship sailed the stars, the galaxy would remember, never underestimate humanity. HFY, The Black Ship, No Escape from Wyatt, Part 3. The galaxy was no longer the same. Wyatt's name had become more than just a whisper in the shadows. It had become a warning, a symbol of humanity's unyielding drive and the terrifying power that lay behind their seemingly frail forms. The empire builders and warlords, who had once thought themselves invincible, now learned a hard truth. No matter how vast their fleets, no matter how sophisticated their weapons, they could not escape the relentless force that was Wyatt and his black ship. But even as the greatest powers of the galaxy quivered in fear, something new stirred in the depths of space, something far older and far more dangerous than any of the known civilizations. The Eldriths. The Eldriths were a race unlike any other. Their origins were shrouded in mystery, their technology light years ahead of anything Wyatt had encountered. They had existed before the first stars had burned into existence, their empire spanning the ancient corners of the universe. Their power had waned over eons, but they were still a force to be reckoned with. The Eldriths did not conquer for wealth, nor did they enslave for control, they destroyed for the sake of it. And when they saw what Wyatt had done to the Vorvith and Syrixian empires, they knew it was time to step in. To the Eldriths, Wyatt represented a threat unlike any other, a force that could potentially destroy their long-standing reign of terror across the stars. They had waited eons for a species like humanity to rise, and now that it had, they realized that they might not be able to control it. Their plan was simple: eliminate Wyatt before humanity could become a serious threat to their empire. They watched as the black ship raised the remnants of fallen empires, and they began to prepare for a battle unlike any the galaxy had seen before. The Eldriths sent their heralds, a small but highly advanced fleet of ships that moved in perfect unison, their organic technology pulsating with dark energy. They called themselves the Harbingers, and they were the first to make contact with Wyatt. When they arrived in the space surrounding the black ship, Wyatt's voice echoed through the comms. "You're wasting your time," he said, his tone unyielding. "You've heard the stories. You know what I can do." A voice, cold and ancient, came through the communication channels. "We are the Eldriths, and your species will not be allowed to exist for much longer. You are a plague, a stain on the fabric of the cosmos. The universe was fine before your kind rose to prominence. We will erase you, as we have done to others." Wyatt's response was calm, but there was no mistaking the fury in his words. "I'm not here to negotiate. You've made a mistake, and now you'll pay the price." The black ship's engines roared to life, its sleek black form moving with an elegance that defied its immense power. The Eldriths had sent their harbingers to eliminate him, but they had not anticipated the fury Wyatt was about to unleash. The battle was fierce. The Eldriths unleashed wave after wave of dark energy, weapons capable of tearing apart entire fleets in seconds. Their ships were nimble, their technology capable of adapting to any threat. But Wyatt had fought battles like this before, against odds that seemed impossible, and he knew how to play the game. The black ship darted in and out of the Eldrith's fire, its cloaking system activating just in time to avoid deadly strikes. Wyatt's ship was a ghost in the void, appearing only to strike at the heart of the enemy's formations. With every strike, entire Eldrith ships crumbled into dust, their energy shields failing in the face of Wyatt's precise, devastating attacks. The Eldriths were not used to being outmaneuvered. Their fleets, once impervious to the might of any civilization, now found themselves scattered and broken. Every attempt to retaliate was met with overwhelming force. Wyatt was not just a soldier, he was a strategist, reading the battlefield with the precision of a mind that had seen every angle and every possibility. But the Eldriths were not finished. They were ancient, and their arrogance knew no bounds. As the battle continued, their harbingers sent a final message through the comms: "You cannot win, human." The Eldriths have lived longer than your species could ever comprehend. We have seen the rise and fall of civilizations. You will fall, too. Wyatt's voice cut through the transmission, cold and resolute. You were wrong about us from the beginning. You thought we were weak. You thought you could wipe us out. But now, you see the truth. We don't back down. We never back down. The black ship moved again, faster than ever before, delivering a series of strikes that shattered the Eldrith fleet. It wasn't just a show of firepower, it was a message. A message that echoed through every corner of the galaxy. No one could stand against humanity. The last of the Eldrith ships exploded in a blinding flash of light, and in that moment, the galaxy knew that the Eldriths, the ancient beings who had ruled for eons, had been defeated, not by superior technology, nor by overwhelming force, but by the sheer will of one human, and the relentless power of the black ship. As the black ship moved into the deep void once more, leaving the shattered remnants of the Eldriths behind, Wyatt didn't bask in the victory. He knew the galaxy would continue to test humanity. Other threats would emerge. Other enemies would rise to challenge the human spirit. But Wyatt had already shown the universe one undeniable truth. There is no escape from Wyatt, and there is no end to humanity's will to fight. The galaxy would never forget the power of the black ship, and they would never forget the one who commanded it. Humanity was not to be underestimated.